Good morning, everyone. Good morning, wherever you are. Some people it might be evening, afternoon, but listen. I told y'all I was gonna have these amazing artists that I bring before y'all. That we sit down, we chop it up, and I was able to get a hold of this young lady. As you see, I was able to catch up with her. She has a rehearsal. She has a show tonight. Very, private, big time show. You know what I mean? So, we got a few moments with her. But, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, please give it up for Miss Isis Damil.
Hi, good morning. How
All
are
right,
you?
y'all know what time it is. It's Dev Campbell. This is All Things Music, and we'll be right back. All right, so Isis, you're preparing to do a big show tonight. You've got your rehearsal, or whatever. So we've got a few moments. So for the people of my audience that might not be familiar with you, let them know who you are, and let's jump in by asking you your beginning, your foundation in music.
Yeah, so I got my start in music from my parents. Both of my parents are jazz musicians, quite well known around the city of Detroit, and I'm an only child. So I was able to just steal all their talent and get all their knowledge and take that all in from a young girl. And yeah, that's how I got my start. My dad one day well, my mom one day she said, I think Isis really wants to sing. Let's do all we can to support her on this journey. And so my dad got me my first gig at Baker's Keyboard Lounge. It was actually his gig, and he split the money with me until I became good enough to be like, okay, no, this is my gig. Let's get some more money. Let's bring in a band, and let's do this the right way. So that's how I got my start from my parents.
And listen, y'all, listen. I'm gonna sit down and interview her dad. Amazing musician. Um, but amazing brother as well. I've had conversations with him. Definitely somebody who privately, well, I guess now it's publicly, but he's been a good influence and mentor to myself. But he's amazing. So for what his daughter Isis is doing or whatever, it's not shocking. But it's just amazing. Um, so Isis, let me ask you this question. We have here in the United States Mount Rushmore.
Mhm.
Okay. But I'm going to ask you if you could replace the four people on Mount Rushmore with four of the most influential artists, musicians that have influenced you, who would it be?
Okay, my Mount Rushmore would be first Beyonce,
Okay.
second oh, and I'll say why. So Beyonce, because of her performance, her work ethic, her
Okay.
overall branding, business, and she does serve vocals. I don't know why people say she can't sing. Like she serves vocals.
Okay.
So that's number one.
All right.
Number two, Stevie Wonder, musical genius. Lyricism, just everything is fantastic. The stories, everything is just it's so good. It's so good. So Stevie Wonder is my second. Uh Three would be Nina Simone.
Mm,
I love everything that she stood for. Women's liberation, just the empowerment of black people overall, like and a phenomenal talent, just a super phenomenal talent. Number three, Number three. I
And
mean,
where's
I'm
your
sorry,
number?
number four.
Number four.
Yeah, we're on number four.
Yeah.
Uh, okay. Oh, Bobby McFerrin.
Wow.
Because yeah, I know my list is all over the place, right? Bobby McFerrin because he is literally a human instrument, and there's like nothing he can't do with with his voice. He could produce a whole excuse me, a whole show, no instruments, just him. I don't even know. Have you seen this video of him? He's in front of a bunch of families, little kids and families, and he literally reenacts the entire Wizard of Oz. And I
Wow.
and it's amazing. And it's just him, and he's singing all the parts by himself. And it's like, how do you do that? It's yeah, he's fantastic. So that's yeah, Beyonce, Nina Simone, Bobby McFerrin, and Stevie Wonder. That's my Mount Rushmore.
And see that's amazing. Your Mount Rushmore. And it is eclectic. And all of them have secured themselves as
Yeah,
legends in the world of music and entertainment. But it's funny that you speak of Bobby McFerrin because, with being in charge of music ministries at churches, I reiterate and remind people that the voice is the primary instrument.
yeah,
It's like in most orchestras, you have them tune up to the concert piano, the piano. And Bobby McFerrin is one of those people who remind us, right? We appreciate the accompaniment of instruments, right? But
mhm,
your voice is the primary instrument, and when you unlock your way of thinking, right? And when you don't allow people to tell you what you can't do and you don't live by other people's limitations, look at what you can accomplish. So, the same way you can
yeah,
have Albert Einstein, who was considered a genius because he unlocked his mind in his way. Bobby McFerrin is genius. Like a lot of people do not give him the credit that he deserves, but I have not heard of any instrument so far that he has attempted to replicate with his voice and has not been able to.
yeah.
I literally heard him. I mean, from drums to multiple percussional instruments, xylophone,
Fan-
guitar,
Fantastic.
flute, trumpet, and then like sing like all vocal parts. I've heard him literally go from bass to literally like first soprano, and you're
Yeah,
sitting there like you said,
fantastic.
and it's like, okay, God, like I know what my gift does, but like
Yeah.
this guy is a musical alien. He really is. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Um, so I mean, amazing, amazing. Where you are now with your music, tell us about that as far as writing, as far as um, what you're feeling as an artist, because a lot of times we know great songs, great material is birthed from experiences of what
Mhm.
artists go through or what they see, somewhat in their circle. So where are you now as a musician, as an artist?
Okay. So before I tell you that, I will say, so I grew up. Both my parents are very spiritual.
Yes.
I grew up in church, and my dad also, which he can tell you more when you speak with him, but he's also a pastor. And so you know how they be like, oh, PKs, they do this and that and blah blah
Right.
blah.
Right.
So all my life I've had this kind of label on me, like I was a certain way, and it's like just get to know me,
Yeah.
like I'm regular, like you don't have to put this extra label on me, like I have to, like I can't do anything.
Right.
um just random things, random normal things that my friends in school were doing. If I did it, it's just like
Right.
not the PK, not the
Right.
preacher's kid. For anybody who doesn't know what a PK is, preacher's kid,
Yeah.
pastor's kid or whatever. So then I started singing in clubs, like Baker's Lounge, and all these different clubs and stuff. And when I would talk to my church, because I've always sang it on the praise team. Um, the church will always be like, well, we can't really let people know where you sing because you sing at the club. And I'm like,
Right,
I met some members at the club. They told
right,
me about church. So
right,
they told me about this church in particular. Or if I would, perform at, live venues and things like that, if I wore certain clothes, they'd be like, You you shouldn't be wearing that. You sing at church. And I'm like, so I just can't be myself on any side, on any spectrum. So where I am now, I am in a space where I am comfortable, and I don't care what anybody say. Like, because people are always going to have their opinion, and if
right.
you live by their opinions, then you'll never tap into your true calling.
Hmm.
So the space that I'm in right now is, I am a spiritual being navigating in this secular environment, and I don't think that they are, I don't think they're separate. They coexist for sure.
Hmm.
And I am finding where I reside, my balance between spiritual, sensual, secular, whatever. I'm finding my balance without somebody else telling me what that is, where I fit
Right,
in.
right.
And I also want to, through my music, as I'm figuring it out myself, help
Hmm.
other women who may have, been going through the same thing, help them find that balance between the spiritual and secular as well. So that is the focus of my music right now. So it'll be a lot of sensuality, but we gonna have some church too because I
And
love
and and you know what? Let me help you out a little bit.
it.
Being um see, I had it. Well, I understand it was good now because I'm an adult.
Yeah.
But growing up, I had it bad because my mom was a preacher. She was an evangelist. All right. My granddaddy was the bishop. All
Mhm.
right. So in the organization, I'm not going to name the name that we come out of, there were very unrealistic expectations, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes, as respectful as I could be, I would have to tell people, he's the bishop, not me. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like, okay, yes, I love Jesus and all of that, but you know, I like what I like to listen to. It's
Yeah.
funny because some folks that's super spiritual, right, and unrealistic will go on ahead and put on you, um, but they don't follow themselves. So some of them same people that's talking about the club or whatever the case would be is, well, you know what? Let me ask you a question. How do you know I was there? Because you saw me. You know what I'm saying? Or this performance, oh my God, the outfit, this and that. Hold on, right? How can you later come and talk to me about an outfit that I had on at a performance if you weren't there? You know, it reminds me of the biblical story, the woman that was now, this is what the Bible says, right? That was caught in the act of adultery.
Hmm.
Jesus didn't catch her. So who caught her?
Hmm.
People, men that were watching her.
Hmm.
So you have all these voyeurs that's watching a woman, right, have
Hmm.
sex with a man that's not her husband. So they're recording mentally all that she's doing. They got a show,
Hmm.
right? Jesus come and they want her to be stoned to death. Oh, she's this, she's dirty, she's nasty. Oh yeah, the man that she's sleeping with ain't even her husband. Like they're giving her whole rundown, right?
Hmm.
But hold on, y'all were watching,
Hmm.
right? With your nasty selves,
Okay, with
right?
your
And
nasty
and
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 nasties.
and actually, and let me say this: this is Campbell theology. Y'all was probably waiting y'all turn. Okay,
Exactly.
while y'all was watching. Let's
And
be
because you
realistic.
didn't get a turn, you have a lot to say.
Let's be real. Because if you was the brother inside, all right, partaking in the act,
You would have been quiet.
you wait, you didn't see him speak up.
Right.
He didn't say, Jesus, this woman attacked me, and
Yeah.
I really didn't want the goods. You ain't hear none of that from him. Okay. So it's funny how people will try to put on you what they're not willing to carry themselves.
Yeah.
They'll tell
And my
you how you should live, how you should dress, how you should walk, how you should talk. Hold on. Are you following that same thing? So,
right.
because my personal relationship with God the Father, with Jesus Christ, is exactly that, then guess what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk my journey. Okay. I'm going to allow Him to speak to me. I'm going to allow Him to groom me. I'm going to allow Him to go on ahead and to
Yeah.
be what I focus on and not you. Because
Yeah.
some of these people that quote unquote, represent Jesus, they'll have you going to hell because you've
Hmm.
been and cussed all of them out.
See. And
You know what
my
I
and
mean?
my whole thing is if you not directly sending me to heaven, I can't even fool with you. Like
Right.
only yeah, like I'm gonna go ahead and mosey about my business. And something I talk to my dad all the time about, I'm like, I if I'm gonna mess up, let it be because I messed up. I'm not gonna mess up because I'm so busy trying to follow what it is that you saying and we both did wrong. Like at least let it be my fault if I mess up.
But that's the purpose of a personal relationship, right?
Exactly.
If
Exactly.
if we know that men and women, right, mankind is going to have stumbling blocks and fall, right? Let that
Yeah.
stumbling block be because it was on my journey and
Yeah.
somehow I didn't navigate past it. Don't let it be because I listened to somebody and tried to do something. I tried to jump a hurdle that they couldn't jump, and I fell and messed my. So he has to rescue me from something that ain't
Somebody
even on
else
my
did.
path. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
make
It wasn't
sense.
even yours. It
It
wasn't
doesn't make
even yours.
sense.
Now you penalized for something. That's
It
crazy.
doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? If it's going to be a personal relationship, right? Then let it be we're in on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And not that I need to remind him, right? But I just remind him, like, God, look, you know the areas of my weakness, right? You know where I have struggles. Please give me insight and give me strength,
Hmm.
today.
Come on now.
My daily bread today, please help me, right? With those struggles, with those moments of weaknesses. Please help me be better than I was today. That's it.
Mhm.
That doesn't require other people, right? It don't require somebody saying you need. No, 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 no. The one who already made my journey, the one who knows my beginning from my end, right? All of that. Let him be the one to give me this because he's the only one that can, right? All these people that want to critique you in your life, how is that giving you strength?
Yeah.
It's not. So because he's the only one that I truly gain strength from, because he's the only one that I can sit back and say, okay, when I fall, he picks me up, right? He cleans me
Yeah.
off and says, let's continue to go. So
Exactly.
because he's the only one doing that, I'm a mute everybody else. I hear
Exactly.
you, but I don't hear you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, when you have eternal power, then I'll start lending my ear to you. Other than that,
Exactly.
in the words of so many other young people, I'm doing me.
Okay.
Now, if that
Period.
bothers you, watch this. Don't come to my shows because you already know how I'm gonna be performing, right?
But they gonna be there. They gonna be
If
watching.
but I'm saying if it does, right? If my music offends you because I'm not saying hallelujah and Jesus every other
It's
word,
then it's not for you.
first of all, Baker's Keyboard Lounge, for those who might not know, is the oldest jazz lounge in the nation. All
Mhm.
right. And it's here in Detroit, Michigan. So many, I mean, when I say historical, iconic legends have performed there. So
Mhm.
just to have the experience to share a stage where so many other greats have shared the stage, I
Yeah.
mean, it's something that everybody can't say that they've done. All right.
Ella Fitzgerald, Miles Davis, like the list, Dizzy, like the list goes
Exactly. You know what I'm
on.
saying? So if me singing My Funny Valentine at Baker's is gonna vex your spirit, number one, why are you there? You ain't there just for the turkey chops and the
Mm-hmm.
mac and cheese and whatnot. No,
Mm-hmm.
you're there to be a part of the ambiance and the performance. So stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
a whole nother thing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
I
because
look,
I've
people
had
go for
people say that.
years.
Because I've had people say that, like, oh well, you're Bishop's grandson and all of this stuff, and okay, you may see me on Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm playing at church. I'm somebody's minister of music. I'm somebody's worship pastor, music director, and stuff like that. Yeah, and I'm thinking that everything is cool or whatever. Okay, somebody may ask me to do a studio session. Somebody may ask me to do a performance with them or whatever the case would be. Guess what? We're doing Stevie Wonder. We may do Shaka Khan. We may do, Aretha. You know what I'm saying? Lionel
Mm-hmm.
Richie or something like that. Don't try to cast me in hell or judge me or now take away from spiritually what I'm anointed to do because I'm anointed to do this as well. When he
Yeah.
gave me the gift, he didn't say only use it at church.
Yeah.
My gift is for the world. So the
Mm-hmm.
church is a
Let it,
portion
come on,
of the
let it make
world.
room for you. Let it make room for you.
But but
And
but
church is not the only space where it can thrive.
but I tell people the church is only a portion
Mm-hmm.
of the world. So yes, in church, the proper setting, okay, I'll do the anthem by Todd Delaney. I'll do Your Great Name. I'll do You Deserve It, JJ Harrison and Youthful Praise and whatnot. Okay, cool. Somebody asked me to come and do Overjoyed by Stevie. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You and I, all of that. Like, I've got people that have hit me up now regarding weddings in 2023. I'm not going there singing gospel music because they didn't ask for no
Right.
gospel music. They said, hey, can you sing these songs? Every song that was on the list were secular songs, right?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
That doesn't take away my relationship, my love, right? Or my anointing through Jesus Christ. It doesn't,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So see all them type folks right there.
That means so you gonna be really you're really gonna like the project that I'm working on because I see this hits home like this is
Oh,
real like
listen, it
this is a
does.
real topic, yeah, so
It does.
I think you'll really enjoy I don't necessarily want to tell you the name, but
Okay.
it will weave in between secular things, secular music, and then like I said, we gonna have a little worship session too.
Listen, we had somebody that said music is a world within itself. It's a language we all understand. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's one of Stevie's lines right there. Miss Renee said that part. God's gift is for the world, not just for the brick and mortar.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And people need to understand that. When we really look at the ministry of Jesus Christ, and I know we got to move on or whatever. I'm gonna just say this real quick. When we really look at the ministry of Jesus Christ, right? If you look at the times where he was in the temple versus the time where he was quote unquote in the streets, he really was the example of a street ministry and
Hmm.
evangelism. He did not stay where the priests were. He did not stay in the
You
temple
can't.
or in the
The
house of
people
God.
who need healing, yeah, the people who need healing are not in the church. I mean, well, I'm not gonna say they're not in the church because there's some people in there who still need healing.
True.
But you do
I know
have
what you
to
mean.
yeah, but you do have to go out and bring people in. Like some people don't know to come in, and if that's your mission to to bring them into the church, then you have to do that.
Exactly.
You know, and
Exactly.
that's what Jesus did. He went and he hung out with the thugs, the swindlers, the whatever, the bottom of the barrel, and he used them to give God the glory. That's that's the whole point. So yeah. But
And
that's the
that's the
space that I'm
thing.
in now. Yeah.
That's the thing. It's they're out there, right? The Great Commission was what? Go out into the highways and hedges. right? The dark places, right? And compel them. Well, those dark places, right?
Mm.
I'm sure nobody got the comprehension or the thought that those dark places are in churches or
Right.
in temples or so-called Christian fellowships or gatherings. No, they're out there in a lost world. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So
Yeah.
if it's out there in a lost world, well, if you're supposed to be the light, why would you only want to be in lit rooms
Yeah.
or where other light is? It
Mm.
doesn't have an impact as if you go somewhere where there's no light. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? And to me, I'm gonna just say this: people like that are people that are really not secure
Hmm.
with their relationship with Jesus Christ or God the Father.
Yeah.
They don't feel like they can be kept in places where you may be the only one who actually is a follower of Jesus Christ. You're not secure because
Yeah.
I've been places and I tell people I've gone to functions or whatever it case be. Everybody passing drinks, this and this. Watch this. Drinking is not a sin according to scripture, right?
Getting
I
drunk is a sin.
Yeah, now I don't do it because
Hmm.
I come from a family of alcoholics.
Yeah. Yeah.
So because I know that trait and that gene is there, I said from an early age I didn't even want to play with it
Hmm.
because too many times I saw family members drink past wherein they were even functionable. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? When you have family members as a kid and you see them drink until they pass out, they throwing up on themselves, they
Yeah.
going to the bathroom on themselves. What nothing cool about
Yeah.
drinking. Like I tell people to this day, I don't know what a social drinker is because I just seen people drink until they couldn't drink no more. Well,
Yeah.
I said it's certain things that I didn't want to do to my body because I only seen the negative of it. I would
Yeah.
never tell somebody because you drunk wine, because you had a drink, you're going to hell. If I
Yeah.
don't have the power to put you in heaven, I doggone sure ain't got the power to put you in hell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just don't do it because of my family, trait or background. Certain things
Right.
I don't even play along with because my thing is I may be the one that end up like that because you start drinking and it get good to you and you don't have a balance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? That's why the Bible talks about being a drunkard because that's where you're unbalanced. That's where
Hmm.
you're out of control. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Let's remember Jesus' first miracle, the very first, he was at a wedding. They ran out of wine.
Hmm.
He said, "Bring me them vessels." And
Hmm.
his wine was better than the original wine. And they kept the party going. So Jesus was like a bartender, right? He provided the spirits,
They don't
right?
want to hear that though.
He provided the good stuff. It wasn't water.
They
All
don't want to
right.
hear that though.
No, they don't want to hear that. No. See, I'm like the rebel. I'm like the black sheep. So my thing is, don't come to me with Bible. If you
if
don't
if you
don't
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 want to talk about the whole thing, right?
don't do that. We gonna talk about it all,
Hmm.
right? So don't even do that. So, um, one more question. One more
Yeah.
question. Let me ask you this. Um, 2023 is
Mm.
approaching, and what can we expect from Isis Damil?
Yeah. So you can expect some more live shows. I'm planning a whole lot of things. Actually, if and I'll plug my social media now. So if you guys follow me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, it's ISISDAMIL on all social media platforms. And TikTok, I think it's I am Isis Damil. But yeah, you follow me on my social media platforms and you'll see I'll be starting a campaign soon for my EP that I'm working on. And like I said, I have shows galore coming up, so you get a chance to see me perform live here and possibly some other places. I don't know where in the world you are, but or everybody else is watching from. But yeah, some other places as well, and you'll get some more music. Right now, I do currently have an EP out that's available on all streaming platforms. It's called Civil Love. and my afro. I usually wear an afro, but I want to switch it up today. But it's available on all platforms. It's my first R&B EP, and you should check it out. And you check that out, and then you can, see the growth from this project to what I'm going to be releasing in the upcoming year. So yeah,
Listen, I'm here in the Metro Detroit area, so I'm definitely going to keep following you, uh,
please, thank you.
and your dad. You know,
Yeah.
we'll do some stuff or whatever. But I play cowbell, so
Okay.
if you need me to come in and sit in with the band and lay that track,
Okay.
I got you. Um,
Okay.
and seriously, I will support.
Thank
One
you.
thing that I think that as artists, as musicians, if we pour into each other and if we
Yeah.
support each other, then we'll see the beauty of what it is that we possess as far as this gift, this language of music.
Yeah.
And I'm always in a space to learn, because you being the R&B, gospel, funk, jazz, just being very eclectic, I'm sure there's things that you may have gotten from your dad, but just develop within yourself musically, wherein people will hear, and if they're real musicians, they'll be able to appreciate it, like, wow, okay. Because I tell people, outside of music being a language, it's an expression.
Yeah.
That's the reason why, depending on the mood you're in and the mindset, depends on how your presentation will be. You can sing one song 5 different days, and because you'll have 5 different mood swings, the microphone will enhance it, but it'll tell where you're at. So
Yeah.
you can hear when somebody's in a dark place, but they're performing. You can hear when they're in a happy place. You know what I mean? So it's
Mhm.
like, I'm always in a mindset and in a space to want to learn, to want to glean from other musicians, other artists, especially when you know that that pen is going to write a message.
Yeah.
um, and I know you got it. I know you got it. I do.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah,
Be on the
we
lookout. Be
definitely
on the lookout.
we definitely got to get together. You've definitely made me think with your eclectic uh, presence. I might sit down and write something and run it past you and see what you think about it.
Okay.
Or sometime in 2023, we can sit down and even think about doing something together. If we got to go to
For sure.
Baker's, sing something at Baker's, and just kill them dead.
Well, I'm looking at some other venues. I've been at Baker's for 6 years, so well,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. So I have since retired and and,
Wow.
and going to other venues now. Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
Hmm.
So listen, have a wonderful rehearsal.
Thank you.
Definitely. Your performance tonight, I know you're gonna kill them dead.
Oh,
Um, and I know you doing the stylish thing now, but I know you're gonna have that throat, wrapped up in the scarf, and you're gonna have your
I
tea.
took my scarf off so I could be cool for y'all, but I have my scarf.
Ah!
I want it to be cool, and it's cold here. It's windy. It's like it's the weather is doing whatever it's supposed to
Yeah,
do right now. It's
and I know
going
you're gonna
crazy.
have your water and your tea and all that, but listen,
Absolutely.
have an amazing rehearsal, an amazing performance.
Oh,
Can
and before we go, you said I remember you said Thursday was your birthday, so
Yes,
happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya.
yeah.
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
Listen, wow. Listen, thank you, thank you, thank you, and for all you now. See, y'all got a sample, right? Y'all ain't see her take an hour to talk about, oh, my throat, this and this stuff like that. Off the cuff, you hear, right? Her instrument,
You
right?
know they say if you stay ready, you only got to get ready. Okay.
Listen, tell these young folks they don't. What you doing? Talking about, oh, I'll be back. What you mean you'll be back? No, the opportunity is now. When you have your opportunity, like, you know what I mean? You gotta stay ready. Stay
Exactly.
ready. You know what I'm saying? You gotta always keep one loaded. You know what I'm saying? Um, Isis, thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much. I
you.
appreciate it. Like I said, I'll be, getting with your dad or whatever the case be. We'll hook up at some point. We gotta grab a bite to eat or whatever. Continue to talk about music and church, but some of that conversation got to be offline. Uh,
Yeah.
got to be offline.
Yeah.
Be ready for the real.
Yeah. We
But
have everybody in the uproar.
man, listen, they were talking about Stone, him, the light skinned guy. He's hurting people. But then, again, I'll make sure that I keep track with where you'll be performing at and everything like that, so I can come and support. Definitely holler, get the crowd, all into it and stuff like that. I'll be the unofficial hype man, so I got you. I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
Thank you.
So listen, everybody continue to go on all social media platforms. Isis Damil. Make sure you download. Make sure you buy. Make sure you get her EP. Make sure you go ahead and listen to her music. Look at that. Civil love. Civil love. Listen, if you ain't got it, you missing out. All right. If you ain't got it, you missing out. Make sure you get it. Support this young lady. All right. Make sure if you have not seen her perform in your city or your state, contact her on her social media. Tell her we need you to come to where we are. Music
I'll
streaming.
be there.
Listen, that her streaming music is good, but you gotta catch her live. You gotta catch her live.
Absolutely.
Make sure if she ain't been the where you at, talk to a promoter, talk to people, bring her to church events, whatever, outdoor events, it doesn't matter. We need Isis DeMille to sing and step foot here where we at, because that's the only way we're gonna get the fullness of it. And you might see me with the cowbell. I'll be with the cowbell doing my thing.
That's
Isis,
cool.
listen, do your thing today. I know you
Thank
will,
you.
and we'll talk later.
All right. Sounds good.
All right,
Bye,
cool.
everybody.
Bye, everybody. Talk to y'all later.